It's 1920, and Friedrich Ebert's government are struggling to control the Freikorps. In the year before, the Freikorps had saved the government, crushing a communist uprising known as the Spartacist Revolt. But now the Freikorps are becoming a growing problem for the German government, which is still weak and facing opposition from both the left and right. 1920, the Kapp Putsch, and ongoing political violence. In March 1920, the Freikorps units near Berlin are due to be disbanded, making the prospect of unemployment very real for these men. Afraid of unemployment, they decide to turn on the Republic, and thus 5,000 armed men march on Berlin. For Chancellor Ebert, this isn't good news. He needs to figure out a way to put down the uprising, and quickly. Ebert orders General Seeckt, head of the Reichswehr, which is the German military, to fight the Freikorps. The Freikorps are largely former soldiers who had lost their jobs as soldiers due to the Treaty of Versailles restricting the size of the German army to 100,000 men, and thus Seeckt's response to this order is Reichswehr does not open fire on Reichswehr. There's nothing left Ebert and his government can do. In fear of their lives, they flee to Weimar and then on to Stuttgart. Meanwhile, the Freikorps gain control of Berlin. The rebels put forward Wolfgang Kapp, a right-wing politician, as a figurehead leader, declaring a new government in Germany. They even invite the Kaiser to return from exile. Ebert's government, with no other options, urge passive resistance. They tell people to go on strike and not cooperate. Swathes of workers do just that. Their socialist leanings mean that they really don't want to see the return of the Kaiser. Essential services such as gas, electricity, water and transport in the city grind to a halt. Eventually, after 4 days, Kapp realises he can't govern under such conditions, and attempts to flee. But he's caught and put in prison, where he later dies. With the rebellion collapsed, the Weimar government and ministers are able to return. However, this isn't the end to political violence. On top of both the Spartacist Revolt and the Kapp Putsch, the Weimar government faces a series of political assassinations. In 1919, Hugo Haase, one of Ebert's Council of the People's representatives, is murdered. In August 1921, Matthias Erzberger, the politician who signed the armistice, is shot and killed. In June 1922, Walter Rathenau, the foreign minister, is machine-gunned to death in Berlin. Between 1919 and 1922, there are a total of 376 political murders, most of the victims being modern or left-wing politicians. The judges are more often sympathetic to the political right, and sometimes even undermine the Weimar Republic in courts. Thus, 10 left-wing assassins are convicted and executed, whilst not a single right-wing murderer is. Consequently, most political parties choose to hire armed men to guard their meetings, often recruiting unemployed ex-soldiers, and creating their own paramilitary groups. The KPD has the Rotfrontkämpfer, the Red Front Fighters. The DNVP has the Stahlhelm, steel helmets, and the SPD has the Reichsbanner Schwarz-Rot-Gold, black-red-gold flag. Although they are there for protection, the presence of these private armies often causes violence. 1920, the Kapp Putsch, and ongoing political violence. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell all your friends. If you find my videos helpful enough that you think I should get paid for them, then you can head on over to my Patreon, which you can find a link to in the description, and on the end cards that you can see right now. If not, then you can head over to patreon.com/alonglongtimeago. We're Sath Ye Harler.